Welcome to the Tim Heale podcast, and this is going to be slightly different. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a little bit of a review on my trusty steed. She's a 1200S Multistrada. I bought her back in 2010, and I've done somewhere just over 15,000 miles on her in that time. As you can see, I don't use a huge amount. However, I do go out on the odd tour now and then. The last tour I'd done was back in 2019, and I did a trip from France down into Italy and across into Austria. Got missed out on the Grossglockner and got to the péage at the top from the Italian side, and it was closed at the top because it was snowing. So I had to come back down and go through the next valley and go through on a train into Austria, which was fun. That was the last one, and then we came up, we did Colditz and did the Hofbrauhaus in Munich and one thing and another. That was that trip. My next trip is this year. I've got a ferry booked from Portsmouth to St Malo, and I'm going to go down through France, looking at some of the battlefields of the Second World War, some of the war graves on the way down to Spain. When I get to Spain, I'm going to look at some of the Peninsular War battlefield sites, places like Burgos, Vitoria, Salamanca, Talavera, Badajoz, and Sierra Rodriguez, some of the major battles down there. So that's what's coming up. So what I thought I'd do, I'd tie it in with doing a little bit of a ride out on the Multistrada this morning. But what I thought I'd do, and people don't do this, I've watched quite a few of the old touring channels, and not many people actually do this. But what I'm going to show you is how I set my cameras up to do what I'm doing, to how I film, and how the bike's set up and one thing and another. So let's have a quick look at the bike. So there she is in all her glory. She's the S version, so she's got the carbon on the front and one thing and another. She's got dual brakes on the front, which are pretty good actually. Not as good as what they used to be on my 749S. They were proper full-on racing brakes, and you can stand it on the front wheel. Anyway, so let's have a look at the camera setup. So I've got the Insta360 X3, this camera here that I'm going to be using. I'm still trying to get used to it, by the way. it's a bit of a challenge when it comes to the edit. I've got my old Hero, GoPro Hero there. I've got the old trusty Garmin as my sat nav. I've got a Next base, which is just the old what do you call it, dash cam. On my helmet, I've got my new Hero 10 Black, and I'm going to be talking for that and putting dialogue on. Lots of these channels, all they do is you see them riding, putting music on. I'm not into doing that. I like to give a bit of dialogue and stuff like that. The old tank bag, I've got in there, there's an electric connector at the back here, that's hooked up to the battery, so I can charge stuff up on the go. I keep the dish lock down there, and I've got a little doobry here that if I've got a grassy area, I'll stick that out, courtesy of Bennett's. So that's my tank bag. I'll go with two panniers. I've got a top box, but I don't like using it, to be honest. It's too far back. You put anything in it and it makes the bike a little bit back heavy. Because I'm not going with a pillion, I'll stick a bag on here with my bits and pieces that I need. This side will be kept for putting bits and pieces in that I need straight away, so I don't have to get anything out of the bag. I use an old Campact camera for doing the rear shots. I've also, what I do, there's another one over there, you can see him, the little one there, and that's to do the shots, you know, where you're driving away shots. The pannier on this side is my breakdown kit, contains my IVs, I've got an electric pump to check my tyre pressures and one thing and another. So there you go, that's basically the setup of the bike. That's how I go off when I'm touring. I will be taking one of these cameras with me. These are the Sony ZV-1 cameras, which are fantastic. As you can see, the quality that you get out of them is second to none. So that's it for now. I'm going to go out for a little ride, going to use the other cameras, and then in the edit you'll see how it all stitches together and the sort of thing that you hopefully, fingers crossed, you're going to see when I get back off my trip and edit it all together. So until I'll get back, until we get on the road, TT FM for now. Right then, this is it, I'm ready for the off. So without too much further ado, let's get it into gear and we'll see you later. Royal Navy flag up there. Okay, so this is a run out. Hopefully we've got the mic working this time. We'll find out when we get back. So this is just taking a nice little Sunday morning ride out, just a quick loop to be able to see what we can see. So can we get past the bus safely? Of course we can. He's just sat there, he's not waiting to pull out. So there's the old Carisbrook Arms. Just a nice gentle ride out this morning, nothing too leery. We'll just, I don't know, there's something in the road there. What do you suppose that is? Oh, looks like somebody's lost a jumper or something. So I thought this morning I'd just show you how I set stuff up and how I use the cameras and basically how I go about what I'm going to be doing this year. Going to be doing a few ride outs on the bike. I intend to use the bike a little bit more this year. She's going in next week to have chain and sprockets done. It's about time that they were done, because they've done 15,000 odd miles. So yeah, I've got a good sat nav. I can program it. I can sort out. In fact, I've already sorted out the route that I'm looking at taking down to Spain from St Malo. I'm not going on the motorways at all. I'm just going to be going down all the national roads, and I'll pick some really nice routes over the Alps. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be a lot of fun. And so let's there's a bit of a breeze out today. It's quite windy, and it's forecast for rain later as well. So great, rain later. Who'd have thought it? So here we go, coming up to a set of traffic lights. Boom! We can only go left here, which takes us into Fareham. There's a car wash over there. I wonder how many illegals that they employ in there. So this is the A32 that comes from Gosport into Fareham. So what I'll do is I'll just do a loop back and get back to the old Heale manor. That's the trouble with this old beast. I mean, she's very, very quick, and you do have to worry about keeping an eye on the speed, because she will run away with you. I mean, she'll do. I've actually taken to 150 miles an hour. Now, the real estate passes you extremely quickly at that speed, and I must add that it was in Germany and it was on the unrestricted part of the, I think it was the A4 coming from Paderborn back towards Calais. Yeah. As you can see, she handles beautifully. That's what drew me to the bike in the first place. She just handles. You just plant her where you want and she'll just stick to the road. I think tyres make a difference. I think she got the Road Pilot 4s on or something, which are great tyres, even in the wet. So I'm just going to do a U-ey round this roundabout, and we're going to head back down Newgate Lane to the old Heale manor. As you can see, I generally don't use the clutch. I treat it like it's got a quick shifter on it, but it hasn't. But I've always done that with all my bikes over the years, up and down generally. And what's he got in his cake hole? So this is going down onto Newgate Lane, and yeah, watch out for the old potholes. There's some nasty holes nowadays. I don't know whether you've noticed that. There are a lot of nasty potholes around. So you just have to be aware of them. And, you know, they've got all these marked up, so I guess I have seen the council crew coming round and repairing them. But that's all they do. they dig them out a bit and fill them in, and then before you know it, they've emptied again and you've got another pothole. So let's take this a racing pace. Yes! See what I mean? She just loves it. She just handles beautifully. Over here, this is HMS Collingwood. We was in there for their open day a couple of weeks ago, and they had all the gun runs going on, which was fantastic. What a brilliant day. It's a massive site, by the way. It is a huge site, and yeah, they laid on the event really well. There's the rugby pitches over on the left here. hear the wind noise, but it is quite a breeze out today. And you have a look at the trees. Yeah. Mind you, the weather today is so much better than yesterday. Yesterday we had torrential rain, thunderstorms. The difference that a day makes, eh? Except that's telling me I'm in Spain. Because I've already got the route planned into it. This is a lovely part of the world to live. I can see already we've got clouds bubbling up. We are forecast for a drop more rain at some stage later today. But I'll have finished that and I'll be in the studio editing this video. So here we go. That's the way to do it. So we're now on what I call round the road. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little ride out and a look at how I do my videoing and what it's all about. And we've got the filter light, boom, chuck it around here, and chuck it around here. As you can see, we've had Portsmouth Water coming round and giving us a new water main, and now we've got BT coming down the road and giving us, boom, that's it, back at the old Heale Manor. There you go, boom, I'm back. So I'm back at the old Heale Manor. Hopefully you enjoyed that. It's just a brief look at how I set the bike up, a little bit about the bike, and how I go about videoing from the bike. So this is going to be, keep an eye out for the tour. I'll go off in October, so by the end of October I'll probably make a little series out of it, a mini series. How's that? A mini series of my tour to France and Spain, down the battlefields of Europe. So until the next time, TTFN, ta-ta for now.